Hi, it's Tracy, and I'm here to share with you my Smackdown between two of the really popular BB creams that are out right now. One is the Maybelline Dream Fresh, and the other is the L'Oreal Magic Skin Beautifier BB cream. And I've been using both for a couple of weeks now, and I wanted to give you my final review of both products. I did an earlier review of the L'Oreal, but now that I've had a chance to use both products for a little bit, I think I can give you a better review, and I can give you a review of both and a comparison of both. So let's start with, I want to look at certain characteristics of the products, because depending on your age and your skin type, you might prefer a different product than what I prefer. I definitely prefer one over the other, but you might prefer a different one. So one of the things that is very different between the two products is that the Dream Fresh, the Maybelline, has SPF in it. It has an SPF of 30, and it's broad spectrum. If you follow Melissa on 30 Plus Some, she did a great job of explaining in great detail what broad spectrum versus full spectrum is, and how it doesn't cover everything, but it does cover a lot. And most cosmetics are not full spectrum when they include SPF. So if including SPF in your BB cream is important to you, then you would want the Maybelline over the L'Oreal, because the L'Oreal doesn't have any SPF in it at all. So that's one characteristic. So in that case, the Maybelline wins. The next is the texture of the product itself. So I'm going to show you a little bit. This is the Maybelline. This is how it comes out. And I have the color light to medium, I think. Yeah. Okay. And there it is on my hand. It's very, very creamy. All right. You can see it, and I kind of put a lot on there. But to be honest, you use a lot of this product. When you put it on, you will use a lot of this product. It's very creamy. In fact, it very much feels like moisturizer, more so than, I would say, foundation or anything like foundation. It's really more like a tinted moisturizer. The L'Oreal has a totally different texture. All right, so this is the L'Oreal, and when you put it on you, it comes out kind of runny, and I don't know if you can see this, but it has little gray specks. It's white with little gray specks. And then as you massage it, it's much more watery than the Maybelline. It's not as creamy. As you massage it, the color kind of develops. Those gray specks are like color capsules or something, and the motion of the massaging plus the I don't know, it just bursts the little color modules, and then you've got a little bit of color on your skin. So if you look at them right now, they don't really look significantly different. Neither one of these has a lot of coverage, but we'll talk about that later. So as far as texture of the product itself and application of the product, I would say that the Maybelline has a nicer texture. It's very creamy. It feels like a moisturizer. Those little gray things kind of feel a little grainy. I wouldn't say gritty. They're not uncomfortable, but they do feel a little grainy, and so the L'Oreal is not quite as pleasant to apply. It's kind of watery, whereas the Maybelline feels really creamy. It feels really good on your skin. So both of them, though, are hydrating. So I think both of them are good in that regard. So as far as the texture of the product itself and the application, the Maybelline is a nicer feel, feels better going on the skin. All right. But now we get into what we really care about, I think, or what I really care about, and that is how the product makes my skin look and how it performs. So as far as coverage goes, both products are sheer. They don't have heavy coverage. In fact, on the Maybelline, it says light medium sheer tint. They're not kidding around. It is tint, I think, is a stretch. I took both of these products with me last week. I was on vacation. I was at the beach for the week with my husband, and I found that the Maybelline was almost just like applying moisturizer, not tinted moisturizer, just moisturizer. I found that it felt really good going on. It was very hydrating, but it gave me almost zero coverage. I didn't really see any of the so-called perfecting effect that you're supposed to see with the BB cream. I didn't see that at all. All right. With the L'Oreal, on the other hand, I did see that. There was some color correction. What I saw was when you first put it on, it doesn't really, it's like it takes it a minute or two for the color to kind of deepen, and gradually over a couple of minutes the color does deepen. And then as the color deepens, you start to see the color correction, and it is somewhat buildable. You can add a little bit more. This has a much, even though it's kind of watery, once it's on the skin and you've massaged it in, it's not slick at all, it's not sticky, it's not wet or dewy. This is, it's very dewy, very dewy. So as far as what it does for the appearance of my skin, and I'm older, and my skin is much different than a teenager's or 20 or even a 30-year-old's. I'm 47 years old, so your skin issues change as you age. For me, this did not provide anywhere near the coverage that I need. And I don't need heavy coverage, but I want at least light to medium coverage. And this didn't even, I didn't feel like it even gave me light coverage. The L'Oreal, on the other hand, is very different in that respect because it does give you some coverage. I felt like it did get, it wasn't heavy coverage. It was certainly no more, probably light, maybe medium if you built it, if you put a little bit more on. But this, I found that I was not comfortable wearing this and only this unless we were just going to the beach. If we were just going to the beach and nowhere else, then I could wear this because it had sunscreen. Also, if you look at the instructions, there's a little tab on the back and you have to peel it, and I've kind of stuck mine back down so I can't do it. But when you peel it, it actually says to reapply every 2 to 3 hours as if it were just a regular sunscreen, which is kind of absurd because if you're marketing this as a BB cream, do people really reapply BB cream every 2 to 3 hours? I don't think so, because most of the time when you think of BB cream, you're thinking of an alternative to wearing foundation. You're not thinking of something that you're going to reapply every 2 or 3 hours. So for that purpose, I didn't find this to be worthwhile. When I tried to wear it, other than just going to the beach, I was so dissatisfied with the coverage that I ended up putting my Maybelline Age Rewind on over it because I just couldn't get this to a coverage that I liked. And it was really, it left me so dewy, it was really slick and wet. This, on the other hand, is totally different in that way. And this, akin to coverage, is the texture of your skin, what it does for the texture of your skin. And I find that the L'Oreal Magic Skin Beautifier BB Cream really improves the texture, the appearance of the texture of my skin. It smooths it out. It doesn't just color correct, but it also smooths it out, much like a primer does with minimizing pores. It does that. The Maybelline does nothing like that. But I find that this almost mattifies a little bit as well. It doesn't give you a totally matte finish, but it does take down the shine a little bit. And as we age, that shine is not really our friend. When you're 18, 19, you can have that healthy glow and it looks all beautiful. But as a woman in her late 40s, I like a little bit of glow, but I do mean a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. And not certainly the slick I felt like the Maybelline was providing, because it really did feel like it was an oil slick on my face. So for coverage and texture of the skin, I would say that the L'Oreal, hands down, was a much better product. And then lastly, the staying power. It's hard for me to say what the staying power of the Maybelline is because I didn't really feel like it was doing anything. I mean, I mean, really, do you know the staying power of your sunscreen? Because that's really what it was like. It was like the sunscreen. That's kind of what it felt like. And as far as acting as a, you know, foundation or a substitute for foundation, it didn't really do that at all. On the other hand, the L'Oreal has great staying power. And throughout the vacation, what I found very difficult, because I brought both of these on vacation for the specific purpose of trying them out and giving myself an opportunity when I'm at the beach and I don't really want to mess with foundation to try these BB creams and see, could I live with this and this alone? And the problem with it was that I never really wanted to use the Maybelline. I just didn't. I mean, I did use it so that I could give you an honest review. I did use it, but I had to talk myself into it every single time. I did not like it. On the other hand, the L'Oreal, I wanted to use it every single time because I knew what kind of result I would get with it, and it was going to be a good result. Of course, I knew what kind of result I would get with this Maybelline stuff too, but, you know, it wasn't a result I was looking for. So, and the last thing is price point. These are both, they look very different in size, but these are both 1 ounce tubes. The Maybelline is cheaper. It's about $8.99. The L'Oreal is, I think it's $11.99 at CVS, you know, and you can catch these things on sale for slightly less if, you know, you're following sales and stuff. But the tubes look very deceptive because the Maybelline to me looks like it's got a lot more product in it, but they really don't. They're both 1 ounce. So really price-wise, you're talking $3 difference. Bottom line, I much prefer the L'Oreal. I will have no problem using up this L'Oreal. I'll probably repurchase it. I love it. I really love it. I think it lasts beautifully. It gives me a great finish to my skin. I can use powder with it, but I don't have to. And I feel like it color corrects and evens out texture and tone, and it's just really a great product to me. I find it very easy to apply. It's not the most pleasant as far as the feel on your skin, and both of these you need to be okay with applying with your fingers because you really have to apply with your fingers with both. But it's easy to apply because you don't really have to blend. This, you really don't have to blend at all. It just goes beautifully. It goes on beautifully. So for my money, as a 47-year-old, I prefer the L'Oreal, and you just have to wear either, you know, moisturizer with sunscreen in it or your own sunscreen, whatever you prefer. For someone who's younger and who has really good skin, I will say that, then the Maybelline would be probably a good product for you. If, you know, all you're looking for is a barely tinted moisturizer with sunscreen. This is great. If you're looking for coverage, this is not going to do it for you at all because it just really doesn't have any coverage at all. So that's pretty much it. I vote for the L'Oreal, but you know, I can see why some people might like this. It is pleasant to use. It's just not for me. And I hope that helps somebody out. You know, there are a lot of reviews out there. I thought I'd throw my 2 cents in. And if you have any questions, just put them in the comments and let me know, and I'll try to answer them. Or let me know how you feel. If you've tried them both, what do you think? You know, you may totally disagree with me. You probably do. But that's okay. So, hope you're having a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.